It's great that, you can just pick up the phone on him and just tell him that, I want you to work on my
Yeah, it's a privilege. I tend not to misuse it.
How was it like collaborating with Sukhwinder Singh?
He has a habit of carrying lots of dairy milk chocolates in his bag. You don't know when you are going to come across small kids. Then you cannot go to the bazaar and bring them.
Sure.
So he's readily keeping them with him. Then take beta.
Oh, I thought those chocolates are for himself, but it's nice that he distributes them.
Maybe he will eat. He also will eat. I don't know.
For this particular story, I mean, you can't age these two actors to a 21-year-old. I mean, that look ridiculous.
There are memes saying that, in parallel universe, it's like Vijay Salgaonkar has fallen in love with ACP Geeta Deshmukh.
Okay, that's good.
That's
it's
good,
a meme.
of course.
I wanted to use a particular song in a particular scene. He initially denied it, but I insisted 3-4 times, which I never do. I observed particularly playback singers and journalists to be carrying the same psyche. Always they say, yeah, it's very nice, awesome, amazing, because Natu Natu is a so unique situation. It's Natu is not just a song; it's a story within itself. Life is the same. Because with Oscar or without Oscar, you have to pay when you buy something in a shop.
What's the update on your next with Mr. Rajamouli with Mahesh Babu? Have you started working on that?
Not yet, because the story is just being locked this week.
Hi Neeraj sir, hi MM sir. Welcome to News 18.
Thank you.
It's an absolute honor to be speaking to the two of you.
Thank you very much.
This is actually your 5th collaboration together.
I didn't have count.
We never counted. Because Neeraj ji used to call me out of the blue and send me some lyric. And
which he writes.
No, I don't know whether he writes or gets some from somewhere. And I'll be in Hyderabad. So he calls from Mumbai and he will ask for a tune for the 2 lines or 3 lines.
Okay.
I send it. And then nothing happens. After 6 months, some other call will come. So I'll never know the lines I have composed belong to which movie, which project or what. Is it okay or not okay? But it's like a process. It's like a daily family thing. So similarly, I lost count how many projects I associated with.
Yeah. So that's why you lost count. Okay.
Because it's a regular affair.
How often do you make these calls?
Quite often, I believe.
These calls.
No, it entirely depends on the project that we are working on. So, I mean, and also if the film requires some music or not. That's the most important thing. Like for Baby, there was just one song. There was nothing much to do in that film. So, I mean, for this one, we started working and collaborating about 2 years back.
Okay.
And that has been the process. So, what Kreem was saying applies for 2 years of random calls and then getting into a sort of a schedule for figuring out the music and the film.
Mm-hmm. But please correct me if I'm wrong. I've heard that the music all the songs were actually composed before the film actually went on floor.
That's the right way to go about a musical, by the way.
That is a conventional way all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what? There are some films which don't have, pre-planned songs in the script. Mm-hmm. Then after the movie is done, some songs happen, like background songs and all.
Right.
In that case, the songs are done after the movie is done.
Sure.
But otherwise, there are song situations in the script and they have to be recorded beforehand.
Sure, okay. But what a fruitful association this has been, since Special 26, I think.
Yes, of course.
And, not many filmmakers can actually boast of having somebody like an Kreem, on their film. And this is an Kreem musical. It's great that, you can just pick up the phone on him and just tell him that, I want you to work on my film.
It's a privilege. I tend not to misuse it. Yeah, but it's a privilege, and I think a lot of it has started. I mean, the sentiment that you are projecting started happening after the Kreem Sahib won the Oscars.
Okay.
But this is an association that dates back to 16 years. I could have he had given me that accord, and we enjoyed that ease between each other, that I could pick up a phone then and I could pick up a phone now.
Now.
Yeah.
So nothing has changed post the Oscars win?
I mean, it's a great honor.
Yeah.
But the working process has not changed. It's still
That's
the
what
same.
matters. Yeah.
That's what
The working process and relation has not changed.
Absolutely, right. So, Sukhwinder Singh and Javed Ali, they have sung too, the song, which is released. And it's very interesting because their vocal textures are very different as singers, very contrasting, if I may say. How is the process like to get both the voices, two distinct voices together and put into one song? How is that like?
Because of the very song and song situation was demanding that kind of an amalgamation.
Right.
There is festival happening, and amidst the festival chaos, some romance is happening.
Yes.
So one voice indicates the romance and one voice indicates the festival. As simple as that.
Right. And how much were you involved in the jamming sessions? Like, would you fly down to Hyderabad or he would come here?
Both. Sometimes I used to fly down, sometimes he used to come over here. I mean, most of the music was composed in this office. So
Okay.
Yeah.
The principal tunes are composed here, and the orchestration, programming, arrangement, everything happens in Hyderabad. If some voices like Sukhvidra and all has to be taken, then I come back to Bombay and do it here.
Yeah. How was it like collaborating with Sukhwinder Singh?
It was fun. He's all like wherever he is, he has a habit of carrying lots of dairy milk chocolates in his bag. So if you find some small kids and all, you don't know when you are going to come across small kids. Then you cannot go to the bazaar and bring them.
Sure.
So he's readily keeping them with him. Then take beta.
Oh, I thought those chocolates are for himself, but it's nice that he distributes them.
Maybe he will eat. He also will eat. I don't know. But that kind of a nice person he is. He likes to maintain that cordial atmosphere around him.
Right. And sir, what was your reaction when you actually saw the video of Tu? Did you feel like your music did complete justice to the visuals?
Of course.
The chemistry between the actors?
Of course.
How lovely, how lovely. Neeraj sir, when the trailer had come out, a lot of conversation was happening on how it's of course a mature love story. And, people were lauding the fact that the actors, the characters are also very age appropriate, because we don't, let's be very honest, we don't get to see this kind of a casting very often. I mean, usually there's this trend that, an actor, let's say of the level of an Ajay Devgn, usually they're paired with younger actors. But of course, I'm sure this was the need of the story, that you needed a Tabu along with him. How do you really look at this, the dearth of age appropriate roles?
So it's a situation that has not suddenly come up. If you look back at the history of cinema all around the world, you'll find such instances, and that's the way cinema has sort of evolved or has been, whether it's in the West or over here. It's a trend that has sort of now ingrained in our society.
Right.
And in the making of our films. So, I mean, unfortunately or fortunately, there will be only certain films which will like this was the call of this film, that there would be a younger version of both the characters, and then there will be a age appropriate version of this character. So I mean, because it suited the film, we could pull it off. But I've got nothing against what has been happening, and as long as it fits the bill, as long as it doesn't become a sore side, that it's always going to play out this way.
Was there a thought though to have, now I understand of course Shantanu and Sai are younger actors, but was there ever a thought of casting Ajay sir and Tabu ma'am for the younger parts by, there are VFX, these things.
You mean de-aging and all
yeah,
that?
Yeah.
So we've done that, but unfortunately, I think it's being overdone now, and bordering on the abuse of tech.
Right.
Yeah. So and we've done it only when it was the need of the story or the hour. For this particular story, I mean, you can't age these two actors to a 21-year-old. I mean, that look ridiculous, right? So, I mean, it was very clear right from day one that there will be two different set of actors for both the ages, and I think that's the beauty of the story. People change over 24 years, right? I mean, we change physically, we change, our appearances change and all that. So I think it just fits the story.
Right. You know, there are memes saying that, you know, in parallel universe, it's like Vijay Salgaonkar has fallen in love with ACP Geeta Deshmukh.
Okay. That's good.
That's
it's
good,
a meme.
of course.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying that, you know, they come, of course, Drishyam is such an iconic and celebrated film.
Yeah.
And, you know, Drishyam continues to, you know, this make it to meme fests and all on social media. Did you ever have the thought of this, the baggage that these two actors come with? Because, you know, watching them on screen will make the audience constantly think of Drishyam. Was that thought in your head?
No. It doesn't work out this way. We all know they are actors, and we all know that they'll do different films, right? I mean, you don't walk into a theater carrying the image of the person that has played that particular character from the earlier films. That's not the right way to go about things. Yes, of course, you would want not to do anything similar with what they have already done, and that's the reason that it fits in beautifully in this film.
Absolutely.
That they're not doing something that they've done in the recent past or whatever. Yeah.
And that is, I think, a big, you know, USP of the film. I think people are really looking forward to watching both of them, you know, as romantic leads in the film. Sir, you know, the association that we were talking about, of course, there's an off-screen friendship also there. How do you navigate creative conflicts between the two of you, if any?
How do I navigate?
Creative conflicts. Maybe you did a tune he did not like, and I'm sure there are discussions that happens, but how do you deal with that? Has there ever been a tiff?
No, if I am very particular about using one particular option, which happened, of course, in this Auron mein Kahan Dum tha. So I wanted to use a particular song in a particular scene. He initially denied it, but I insisted 3-4 times, which I never do. Then he was kind enough to consider my idea, but at the same time not letting it be that way totally. But somehow we came to an intermediate understanding.
Right.
That the essence of the tune can be used in such a way that we both are satisfied.
He's talking about the background score of the film.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was a situation, and I mean, there's no confusion about the fact that Kreem sir would want the best for the film, right?
Yes.
So there are certain ideas that sort of resonate very quickly, and sometimes there's a middle path. You know, you try to take the best parts of that idea and execute it, and that's exactly what happened.
As mentioned, Kisi Rose, sir.
Yes. Yeah.
Tell me very honestly, how do you tell somebody like an Kreem sir that I don't think this tune is what I want to use in the film?
You say it the way you say it.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
Isn't it like intimidating to say that?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Because on a work level, I totally admire, respect, and I learn a lot from him. But there's no confusion in my head as to what my work demands from me, right? It requires certain decision making, and there is no disrespect involved. If I don't like something, he just dishes out another one. If I don't like it, he'll again dish out another one. That's us as professionals, right?
Absolutely.
Let me tell you something on this note. So I observed particularly playback singers and journalists to be carrying the same psyche.
Okay.
Like they never dare mentioning songs or works or artistic works they don't like.
Okay.
They always say, yeah, it's very nice, awesome, amazing, whatever. Terms may change, but yeah, this is very nice. But if you ask to mention a song which they don't like or which they despise, they will never say, because they want to be in good books. The singers want to be in the good books of the composers, and the journalists want to keep themselves away from controversy, which is not the case here. Because unless he says this tune is not nice, then how can when he says this is very nice, the credibility comes from where? When you state when you don't like something,
right,
then only if you like something the credibility comes. If you keep saying nice, everything is nice, then I cannot. It's like faking appreciation.
Right. But just from a journalist's point of view, sir, we sometimes don't say it because we do not know how the person in front of us might react.
Not only a person in front of you, the person outside this room also may react later when it is broadcasted, telecasted. So that's why you keep yourself away from controversy.
Okay.
Maybe there are a few, I don't know. There are a few.
He's smiling. Okay. No, but the last time you had composed music for an Ajay Devgn film was Zakhm. And that was like, all the songs are like masterpieces. Gali Mein Aaj Chand Nikla, is still, feels so fresh. What are your memories, sir, from working on Zakhm with Mahesh Babu? How was that like?
It happened for a decade or 2 decades long story. My association with Bhatt Sahab. So if you ask me to suddenly say something, I can share one experience.
Yes.
Bhatt Sahab is so smart. He once told me, randomly he told me, he calls me Kirwani only.
Okay.
By my original name.
Okay.
Kirwani ji, you go to a place where there are waterfalls, there is nature everywhere, where there is no contact, no human beings, just nature, some waterfalls, some birds maybe. You sit there. You meditatively sit there and think of no hero, no heroine, no story, no director, no producer, no budget, nothing. Just compose some beautiful tune or tunes and give them to me, he says. And give them to me. Then I said, sir, what you told me, the idea is very good. Composing independent music free of any tag.
Right.
No, but in the end, what you said, give them to me. So that will be in my mind.
That is
so
true.
like, तुमको अच्छा होना तो ये मंत्र बोलना चाहिए night में. But when you are saying this mantra, you should not think of monkey. If I say that, you obviously will be thinking of monkey only. So ये tunes Bhatt Sahab पूछता है, पूछेगा. So that will come into my mind and that will influence me.
Okay.
So I was joking with him. Sir, you should not have told that
last line.
Last line. Maybe you should have asked me after the tunes are made.
But did you really anticipate the success of the music album of Zakhm? And it has aged so well.
All that Bhatt Sahab speaks is philosophy, and all I do is music.
Okay.
It's a combination of philosophy and music.
Lovely. That's unadulterated passion. Great. Sir, since we're talking about Mr. Ajay Devgn, I mean, of course, Ajay Devgn and Tabu ma'am, they also go back a long way. They're like childhood friends and all. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
They had said in an interview. Do you think that the off-screen rapport or the equation that they have, that made it easier for the on-screen chemistry for it to get translated?
I don't know if that would, because
Okay.
I don't know anything about the background that you were saying. Right?
Okay. All right. Okay. No problem. I was speaking to you last time. This was during Freelancer, and you spoke about the importance of redefining, oneself at every stage of their careers to stay relevant. Was the idea to make a romantic film like this stem from that thought that I want to reinvent
That's
myself?
a constant thought, no? It's not that it comes after a particular project.
Okay.
You've done a certain kind of storytelling, and then you'd like to discover if you could do something else, Yeah, so it's an ongoing process that started from my first film, maybe from my television days, I don't know. And you're constantly searching to tell a newer story in a different manner. And that's always been the endeavor. Why would I do a sports film out of the blue, right?
Yeah.
So, and then suddenly there is an opportunity in the form of long form storytelling, which happens in OTT. 8 hours of content over one story.
Right.
So, it's a challenge, right? And you get to know whether you can pull it off or not. So, these are the things that would drive any creative person for that matter. And same applies to me.
So when did this germ of this story come to your head? When was this?
I don't remember the exact date, but would be around 2 years back when we were figuring out our next project, our next theatrical. And somehow it was in some form or the other in my head, but I didn't actually sit down and write it till about 2 years back. Yeah.
And they were your first choices, Ajay Devgn and Tabu, ma'am?
Absolutely.
How lovely. Sir, we have to talk about your Oscar win. I mean, I'm sure people, wherever you go, people talk to you about Natu Natu. I just want to understand from you, after Natu Natu, how many filmmakers have you met who told you to actually write a song like Natu Natu for their film? Sometimes they say, right, when a song becomes a hit, that I want something like this in my film.
No, not anybody. Because Natu Natu is a so unique situation. It's Natu Natu is not just a song, it's a story within itself. So unless they come up with something like that, they cannot ask me for one more Natu Natu just like asking for an item song.
Right.
So nobody asked me so far. But yeah.
But has life changed in any way post Oscars?
Life did not. So I said, somebody asked me about this in some other platform in Chennai. So I said I went to a mall where I usually go and ask for one dairy milk chocolate and one noodles, Maggi noodles pack. And then they're packing it, and then just when I was about to walk away with that, then they're asking for money. That's it. Why are you asking? I want an Oscar. Why are you asking money? That doesn't make any difference. So you have to pay.
This really happened.
No, it happened in my mind. It happened in my mind. So, which I mean to say, life is the same. Because with Oscar or without Oscar, you have to pay when you buy something in a shop.
That is true, very true. Lastly, sir, when I watched the trailer, and this is what I felt, and I saw that a lot of comments also echoed this sentiment, that there's a very vintage quality, to the film. There's a very 90s feel in terms of the treatment, the overall look I'm talking about the film. Was this a conscious thought? Or do you think...
Can you elaborate on that as to what was about the look that seems...
the overall vibe, it feels very... It doesn't feel very millennial, is what I'm saying. You think of a 90s romantic film when you watch the trailer of
That could be because of the poetry, that could be because of the guys playing their age, that could be because our generation sort of relates to it, and your generation won't. Maybe the guys who are putting in those comments belong to our generation, so they would be taking a leaf out of that.
Yeah.
I mean, the vibe is something that, you get it. I mean, there's no reason for that, right?
Yeah. So. Lastly to you, sir, have you started working? What's the update on your next with Mr. Rajamouli, with Mahesh Babu? Have you started working on that?
Yeah, not yet, because the story is just being locked this week. And some test shoots and all going on from his side. So maybe in July or August, I'll be starting my work on the movie.
How lovely. Yeah. Thank you so much to both of you for this chat. All the very best for this film.
Thank you.
I'm really looking forward to the other songs.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Kreem. You're watching me on News 18.
Hi, this is Neeraj Pandey, and you're watching me on News 18.